Volodymyr Zelensky's latest confrontation in Washington quickly turned into a political nightmare, with criticism pouring in from Trump allies, Silicon Valley figures, and conservative lawmakers. What began as a tense Oval Office exchange with Donald Trump has escalated into a broader reckoning over Ukraine's wartime governance, as key voices in Washington openly question Zelensky's leadership. In a move underscoring the Trump administration's growing divide with Kyiv, U.S. Director of National Intelligence accused Ukraine of drifting from American values. Tulsi Gabbard took to TikTok, attacking Zelensky for cracking down on political opposition.
Ukraine's President Zelensky has just banned yet another political opposition party, one that questioned his legitimacy as president, and used Ukraine's Department of Justice to mandate the seizure of this party's members' assets. Now, this is just the latest of Zelensky's actions to do this sort of thing. He began banning major political opposition parties in 2022, when he also started banning TV channels that were associated with his political opponents. And he took over total control of Ukraine's largest television networks, now controlled by their government.
Gabbard didn't stop there, challenging Zelensky's legitimacy after he cancelled elections under martial law. She warned that such measures could set a dangerous precedent beyond Ukraine.
Zelensky's presidential term ended on May 20th. He canceled elections in the name of martial law, suspending Ukraine's constitution so that he could stay in power. Now, defenders of Zelensky will say, hey, Ukraine is in the middle of a war. They can't have elections. Just stop for a moment and think, if we accept that excuse or criteria for suspending the constitution and canceling elections, then we should presume that leaders in our own country and our own establishment media will also use this same excuse and rationale when they suspend our constitution and our elections, since we too are at war with Russia and China.
Her remarks came as U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance turned up the heat on Kyiv, condemning Ukraine's forced conscription policies amid its deepening manpower crisis.
Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President.
The fallout from Zelensky's meeting with Trump continued as DOGE head Elon Musk weighed in, declaring on X that the Ukrainian leader had damaged himself severely in the eyes of the public. Musk then sharpened his criticism, demanding answers about U.S. military aid to Kyiv. Time to find out what really happened to the hundreds of billions of dollars sent to Ukraine, he wrote, echoing rising skepticism in Washington. As scrutiny mounts from Washington's power players, Zelensky finds himself increasingly isolated.